Dhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Janavalabha Girivaradhari Radhamadhava Bihari Gopi Janavalabha Girivaradhari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Vraja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Vraja Janaranjana Yamunatiravanachari Yamunatiravanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Janavalabha Girivaradhari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Janavalabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Vraja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Vraja Janaranjana Yamunatiravanachari Yamunatiravanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Jai Prabhupada, 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 Jai Jai Prabhupada. Vishwapad Brahmamsa Parijakacharya Stotara Satasri Śrīmad Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki. Vishwapad Brahmamsa Parijakacharya Stotara Satasri Śrīmad Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada Ki. Ananda Koti Vaishnavinda Ki Jai. Granth Śrīmad Bhāgavatam Ki Jai. So we're reading from Canto 8, Chapter 9. The Lord incarnates as Mohini-murti. Text 22. Te palayanta samayam. Te palayanta samayam. Asura swakritam nripa. Asura swakritam nripa. Tushnim asan krita sneha. Tushnim asan krita sneha. Stri vivada jugupsaya. Stri vivada jugupsaya. Te palayanta samayam. Asura swakritam nripa. Tushnim asan kritam sneha. Stri vivada jugupsaya. Mataris. Word to word translation. The demons, palayanta, keeping in order, samayam, equilibrium, asura, the demons, sakritam, made by them, nripa, O king, tushnim asan, remained silent, kritasneha, because of having developed attachment to Mohini-murti. Stri vivada, disagreeing with a woman. Jugupsaya, because of thinking such an action as abominable. Translation. O king, since the demons had promised to accept whatever the woman did, whether just or unjust, now to keep this promise, to show their equilibrium and to save themselves from fighting with a woman, they remained silent. There's no purport, so we're reading the next verse, text 23. Tasyam kritati pranaya pranayapaya katara ka bahu manena cha baddha nochu kinchana vipriyam. The demons had developed affection for Mohini-murti and a kind of faith in her, and they were afraid of disturbing their relationship. Therefore, they showed respect and honor to her words and did not say anything that might disturb their friendship with her. Purport. The demons were so captivated by the tricks and friendly words of Mohini-murti that although the demigods were served first, the demons were pacified merely by sweet words. The Lord said to the demons, "The demigods are very miserly and are excessively anxious to take the nectar first, so let them have it first. Since you are not like them, you can wait a little longer. You are all heroes and are so pleased with me. It is better for you to wait until after the demigods drink." Om Jnana-timirandasya Jnananjana-shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So, we continue in the section of the churning, and at the moment the churning has come to a halt because the very reason they were churning for, to get the nectar, has now finally come out. So there is, the demons snatched it from Dhanvantari and they wanted to have it. And there was a strife among them on who would have it first. And there was a lot of confusion, there was a lot of dispute. And finally, they came to conclusion that Mohini-murti, a very beautiful woman who happened to be there, everyone was so enamored, attracted by her beauty, that they decided that, okay, looks like everyone is attracted to her, and so maybe everyone will accept whatever she says. So let's give this pot of nectar to her, and let her decide how should we go about having this nectar, who should have it first. So this presence of Mohini-murti is Lord is attracting to the demons. Lord is influencing the demons through Maya Shakti. So she is very attractive, and through her energy, through Maya Shakti, all the demons are completely bewildered. So this Maya Shakti works for all the living entities who are under the bodily consciousness, because as soon as we forget our real identity as the spirit soul, as part of Krishna, then we become influenced by this material energy. And actually Maya means that which is not, what Prabhupada explains. And so everyone wants to, now all the demons, they all want to enjoy the association of Mohini-murti. And so therefore, they're saying, okay, let's not argue with this woman and not spoil our relationship. You know, we have glorified her, and you know, we have all spoken highly of her beautiful features. Now we can't just back off from our words. So we have to let the nectar pot be with her and let her decide. And although it looks like it's not going in the right direction, let's still just keep going for the time being and see what happens. So we'll not disturb our relationship with her. And this is a very classic way of the materialists, that they want to enjoy. They want to enjoy the senses, and they think they're the body, and then they want to enjoy sense gratification, and they want to enjoy now. So here they're seeing that, okay, here's a person, and that we can enjoy her association, and so we will not try to ruin our relationship. And so in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Tribir gunamaya bhaver, ebhi sarvam idam tatam, mohitam nabhijanati, mam ebhya param avyayam. So Krishna is speaking that those people who are under the influence of these three modes, they're covered over by these three modes, then under this influence of goodness, passion and ignorance, no one actually understands who Krishna is, or who his incarnations are. And so here the demons also not quite understanding what Krishna's form in the Mohini-murti is, and they're completely bewildered by her Maya Shakti. And this bewildering potency of Krishna, as Krishna is explaining in Bhagavad Gita in the next verse, after the 7.13. The 7.14, Krishna explains that Devi Hesha Gunamai. These material energies is very difficult to overcome, because everyone is completely covered over as soon as they come under the influence of material energy. So there are many energies that Krishna has, but one of the energy which is us, which is the superior energy of the Lord, but actually when we come under the influence of the material energy, then we get covered over. Just like sometimes it can be very difficult to stay awake in the Bhagavatam class, because Lord's material energy is working and it covers us over. It is very hard to actually concentrate, to focus, to hear, because the material energy, although we are spiritual energies, although by nature we are spiritual, when we get covered over by the material energy, then we forget our true identity. So this covering potency is very powerful. It's very, very powerful. That's why even though we try to stay awake, it's very hard. It's very hard because this material energy is very powerful, and it actually completely covers us over very quickly and very easily. So Lord here is showing this bewildering potency. He's showing how he can bewilder even the great personalities. Although they're demons, they're actually great personalities. They're very intelligent people. And we have seen in the Bhagavatam in many instances where Lord bewilders the living entities. More so much in the case of bewildering the demons. Yes? We see in this pastime here where the Mohini-murti is bewildering the demons. There are other instances also where the Lord bewilders the demons. Does anyone know? Bali Maharaj, Vamandev bewilders Bali Maharaj. Because Vamandev comes, it's a small Brahmana boy, it's a brahmachari. And Bali Maharaj is known to be very charitable, and he says, okay, I'll give you anything you want, ask me. And Vamandev says, okay, if you really want to give something in charity, I'll just ask for 3 steps of land. And Bali Maharaj says, is it? You know who I am? I'm the owner of the 3 worlds. So I can give you anything you want. He said, you only want 3 steps of land? I can give you more. And then Vamandev gives all these very sweet words of philosophy. He said, no. Brahmana means they were to be satisfied. We have to be satisfied with whatever little we own. We just want 3 steps of land. Anything more, I'll be greedy. I don't need it. Just give me something small. I just want 3 steps of land. Bali Maharaj said, okay, if that's all you want, then take it. Show your 3 steps. And Bali Maharaj's guru, Shukracharya, said, no, don't give him. Don't give him these 3 steps. He will take everything. This is Vishnu. Bali Maharaj says, well, the promise is already given, So now I can't do much. And then Mamadev tricked Bali Maharaj. With the 3 steps, he covered the entire universe and the owner of the universe, Bali Maharaj himself. Nice example. What is other example? Also, Lord comes as a small boy and makes Vrikasura, makes him believe the Bhasmasura who was given the benediction by Lord Shiva. Because he was chopping off all his limbs, putting it into the sacrifice to please Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva, being a Vaishnava, he felt sorry for this demon. He said, what do you... So, at one point when he was going to chop off his head and put into the fire of sacrifice, Lord Shiva, he came running. He said, because he's a devotee, he's a Vaishnava, and he's seeing that this person is committing suicide. So he went to him and he said, okay, what do you want, Baba? Why are you killing yourself, What do you want? I'll give you. So I want a benediction by which I can, whomever I touch, that person, head I touch, he should burn into ashes. And Lord Shiva said, okay, is that all you want? Okay, so be it. And now Lord Shiva had come with Parvati, and Vrikasura got attracted to Parvati, and said, okay, if I turn this Shiva into ashes, then I get to keep Parvati. So he started chasing Lord Shiva. And Lord Shiva had to run for his life, and he was running in different directions, trying to get protection from all the different personalities. But everyone said, this is your benediction, Lord Shiva. How can we counteract that, So nobody could help. And finally, Krishna had to come in the form of a small Brahmana boy again. And again, in a very sweet words. Krishna has very sweet words. He has this ability to enamor the people through his sweet words. And he actually enamored them, and he actually convinced this demon that actually the benediction that you have received is actually not true. It usually doesn't work. Lord Shiva is a little crazy, He gives many benediction to many people. Hardly it works. You can check in your own head if it works or not. And demon believed him. And actually touched it, and he burnt into ashes. There's another one, little bit indirect, but also how Lord convinced the atheists through his sweet words. Can anyone think of anyone? One more incarnation? Okay. Sorry? Vamanadev, we discussed that, yes. The Pali Maharaj, yeah. I was thinking of Lord Buddha, who influenced the atheists. and he actually convinced the atheists who were, on the name of Vedas, they were committing so much of animal slaughter and sacrifices, that Lord Buddha actually convinced these atheists that actually who believes in these Vedas? And if this Veda said that this animal slaughtered, that animal has to be killed, then who cares for this, Rather, we should believe in the peace and non-violence. And although Buddha's philosophy was so unclear and somewhat confusing, still people believed him. Because he was very sweet spoken, Lord has very sweet words. And through these words and through his philosophy, he made these atheists, these people believe that actually we don't need to follow these Vedas. So in this way, Krishna shows the supremacy of his words, a supremacy of his potency, that that even though someone can be very learned and can be very intelligent, at the end everyone actually is influenced by the words of Krishna. So here the demons are also similarly bewildered and attracted to the words and potency of Mohini-murti, and they're completely surrendered to whatever Mohini-murti does to them. So this captivation of the demons is actually quite similar to a lot of materialists who are also similarly attracted to the opposite sex. So it is there's some research that is done, and the psychologists, they mentioned that I think few classes ago, a couple of classes before, I think one of the devotees were mentioning that there were certain men and they were giving exam, but when they knew that the woman is watching them, then all of a sudden their performance was highly affected. So, but at the same time, it generally doesn't happen in the case of if it's other way around. So men who are very much materially minded, they get very agitated and they can get very attracted, and they actually lose their decision power when in the association of opposite sex. So that's proven, and that's also proven here in the case of this pastime and the Bhagavatam. But then those people who are completely spiritually connected and they're actually performing their actions with a higher purpose for pleasing the Lord, then they can somehow overcome this bewildering potency of the Lord. As Krishna says that one who surrenders unto me, mama eva ye prapadyante. One who has surrendered unto me, then maya metam tarantite. He can save himself from this influence of the material modes. So there is something also very interesting about this pastime, and that is that, Lord can come, could have come in any other form, and seeing that, okay, here the demons are snatching this nectar pot. The Lord could have come and in the form of, in some other form, and could have just killed all the demons, wiped them out, given the nectar to the demigods, and let them have it. But then it's no fun, So then Krishna comes in this form of Mohini-murti, and then there is a whole pastime. And here the Lord is actually showing diplomacy. So in the material world, generally diplomacy has a bit of a negative connotation. Someone is being very diplomatic, trying to favor one person and sort of, ignore the other person, and through sweet words and actions is trying to, somehow maneuver through the people and through the psychology and trying to get something done which some people might not like. And so this is very diplomatic, and it's generally not very nice. It's not generally very nicely looked upon. But here we can see how everything can be used in devotional service. So in the past, in the conversation between the demons and the Mohini-murti, where the demons who were having this dispute among themselves, and they were having a fight of who should have it first. And they decided that, okay, let's give it to Mohini-murti and let her decide how we should go about this. So when they gave this nectar to Mohini-murti, she smiled with very attractive gestures. And she said, actually, I'm just a prostitute, you shouldn't put your faith on me, People like me, we make new friends every day, and we don't really rely on any friendship. None of our relationships are permanent, So, but she was speaking very sweetly and jokingly, and the demons, they all thought, oh yes, she's joking, and it's right. They all laughed with gravity, ha ha ha, and they delivered the nectar in the hand. Yeah, very nice joke, but no, we trust you, And so, when they gave the nectar pot to her, then Mohini-murti smiled, and she again proposed she put another proposal. She said, my dear demons, if you accept whatever I may do, honest or dishonest, then only I will take the responsibility for dividing the nectar among you. Are you okay with that? So again, the demons who had really established the relationship, they said, yeah, okay, sure, we trust you. I think you'll be fine. But here we can see, and in the couple of verses before where it was mentioned that demons who are like snakes, so giving them the nectar was like giving milk to the serpents. And it's just going to increase the venom and it's going to become bad for everyone. So therefore, it's better, the Lord decided it's better not to share nectar with them. And so he's, again, Mohini-murti is employing this diplomacy to somehow work through the word jugglery, to sweet words. He's somehow trying to keep the demons pacified while giving the nectar to the demigods. Now, Prabhupada explains in purports, many purports, that as devotees we should be always straightforward, and we should be always free from any diplomacy and its intricacies. But the diplomacy can be employed by a devotee, Prabhupada says, with a due discrimination and for a noble cause. So again, as Prabhupada says, that the diplomacy can be employed by a devotee with due discrimination and a noble cause. Sometimes a pure devotees employ diplomacy only to serve the interest of the Lord, which becomes a form of devotional service. So, there are many devotees actually who employed such diplomacy of words, but for the devotional service, for higher purpose. We know the example of Sanatana Goswami, who was put into the jail by Nawab Hussain Shah. And the Nawab Hussain, he knew that Sanatana Goswami wants to quit. And so he put him in the jail, and there, when Sanatana Goswami was waiting inside the jail, he received a letter from Rupa Goswami. And Rupa Goswami said that the Lord is going to travel to South India soon, and that you should come out. And so Sanatana Goswami is just waiting for this letter from Rupa Goswami, that as soon as this letter comes, I will leave. So now that the letter has come, Sanatana Goswami is now scheming. He's making a plan how to get out from this jail. And so he immediately went to the jail attendant. And he told the jail attendant, he said, "Dear sir, so you are a saintly person and very fortunate. So you have full knowledge of the revealed scriptures such as Quran and similar books. So you know that if one releases a conditioned soul or imprisoned person according to the religious principles, he himself is also released from material bondage by the Lord himself. So previously I have done so much for you, now I am in difficulty, so please return my goodwill by releasing me." So Sanatana Goswami is speaking in a very nice way. He's first glorifying him, then he's saying that, okay, you have a favor due, so please let me out. Then Sanatana Goswami, to further make a point, he says that by releasing, he said, here are 5,000 gold coins. So, by releasing me, you will receive the results of pious activities and gain material benefit as well. So you have both, you have this profit simultaneously, both the profits are there. So what did jailkeeper reply? He said, my dear sir, I can release you, but I'm afraid of the government. So, so this is Sanatana Goswami's intelligence. He's very smart. He's saying that, look, actually there is no danger. Nawab is right now gone to south. When he returns, just tell him that Sanatan went to pass stool near the bank of the Ganges, and as soon as he saw the Ganges, he jumped in. Now, also tell him that I looked for him for a long time, but I didn't see any trace of him. He had jumped in with the shackles on. So most likely he has drowned and he has died and washed away by the waves of Ganges. Actually, then Sanatana Goswami says to the jail attendant, he said, actually there is nothing to worry, because I will not even remain in this country. After leaving from here, I am just going to become a mendicant, and I am going to the holy city of Mecca. So Sanatana Goswami saw that this jail attendant, he was still not satisfied. So then he decided, okay, I'll give you 7,000 gold coins. So he stacked them up and said, look, all of this is yours if you just let me go. And so jail attendant, although he was afraid, he saw the gold coins shining in front of him. And he got attracted and he said, okay, I'll let you go. And so in that way, Sanatana Goswami actually escaped the jail. So in that way he employed this diplomacy, these sweet words, but for the purpose of devotional service. And actually, in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, these sweet words and talking and this diplomacy is actually used by the devotees to influence the Lord himself. When King Prataparudra, who wanted to get the audience of Lord Chaitanya, and he tried different means to somehow try and get to see him. And finally, when different things were not working, devotees had requested Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu at one point had said that if you keep asking me like this, then I will leave Jagannath Puri. And so devotees were worried. But at the same time, King Prataparudra was so devoted to Lord Chaitanya that he somehow kept requesting, and he sent a letter to Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. And he said that actually if I don't get the audience, he said, I'm so keen to see the Lord right now, and if I don't get his audience, I'm going to become a mendicant, I'm going to give up my kingly position, and I'm going to go door to door begging. So when Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, when he read this letter, he became very worried. And he said, okay, we need to plan something for this, And then at the same time, Ramananda Rai, who was a great government politician, King Prataparudra gave him a permanent leave to serve Lord Chaitanya, and he requested that please do something so that I can get an audience of Lord Chaitanya. And so here Ramananda Rai and Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, they are also scheming. They are also somehow trying to figure out a way how they can get Lord Chaitanya to give his audience to Prataparudra. And in part of this whole conversation where they are asking the Lord, and so they also came up with a scheme how we should convince Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And so they decided that, okay, we will all go together and we will not say Lord Chaitanya anything, we will just glorify Prataparudra. And so they just went and they just kept glorifying King Prataparudra, and told Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, how devoted he is, how much devotional qualities he has, that he's always absorbed in Krishna's pastimes, and he's always strongly desiring to see the Lord. So in that way, he is a great devotee. Not only that, he has actually given a permanent leave to Ramanand Rai so that he can go and serve your lordships with a full salary. So that shows that he is actually such a qualified king, he's such a qualified person. And in that way they are scheming, and they finally do manage to convince Lord Chaitanya, at least partly, by getting his garment, and one time by getting the son of Prataparudra to get an audience of Lord Chaitanya. So in that way they were also scheming like this. So this is that's why there's this nice line in the purport, that the conclusion is that the diplomacy used for the service of the Lord is a form of devotional service. And so we can see how everything in this way can be engaged in the service of the Lord. So with this, we finish here. Thank you very much. Any questions or comments or corrections?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you for the nice class. Prabhu, in this pastime we see how both the demons and the demigods, they put their faith into Lord Krishna when he came as Mohini-murti. I mean, even the demons were happy and pleased when Lord Kurma and Ajita came for the churning. So then why then Krishna came and was he became diplomatic for the demons? Why didn't he purify them and give them his mercy? Instead he did he was unfair to them by not distributing them.
Because Krishna gives living entities what they ask for, what they desire. So, Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, ye yatha mam prapadyante. So, the demons were not necessarily keen to get purified. They just wanted the nectar. And they wanted nectar for their evil purposes. And so Krishna was not going to do that for them. So in our Krishna consciousness also, if we desire Krishna to purify us, then Krishna will purify us. But then those devotees who just desire big position or big intellect, big strength, anything else, then Krishna will give them that, but not necessarily a purification. So everyone receives what they ask for. And here the demons are asking for their own sense gratification. And Lord is going to provide based on their qualification and what is actually good for everyone. So, yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yes.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. You said that diplomacy shouldn't be involved in material purposes, but you should only employ diplomacy only if it's for a spiritual purpose or devotional service. But I was just thinking upon the point that it would be nice if we had devotee leaders or devotee prime ministers or ministers. That would be nice. But to get to that level, a certain amount of material diplomacy is needed. So is it a good thing to get into that or not?
I think even during Prabhupada's time, there were devotees who were trying to get into the whole government and diplomacy and the whole thing. And I think at one point Prabhupada discouraged them that better not to get into this because it's a very messy situation. And also Prabhupada's goal was primarily to, what Prabhupada said, create or put in place the head of the society, put that back in place in the body of the society. So the head is the brahmanas, the thinking the brain power, who is actually going to guide the society in a proper direction. So the Kshatriyas are the arms, and the Kshatriyas are meant to work under the guidance of the Brahmanas. But because of the lack of Brahmanas, everything else is a chaos right now. So if we have the intelligentsia of the society properly trained and qualified, then everything else can slowly start going back in track. So that is our primary focus. Now, in having said that, if there are diplomats who are interested in Krishna consciousness, then we definitely encourage them. But it's very difficult in that position, really practicing Krishna consciousness. Yeah.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Okay. Thank you very much. Granth Śrīmad Bhāgavatam ki, Śrīmad Prabhupada ki jai.